Right now, somewhere in your city, a criminal is standing at a gas pump you have probably used before. They are not breaking the glass. They are not cutting any wires. They are sliding a paper-thin microchip the size of a postage stamp into the card slot. And within 11 seconds, they are gone. No footage, no fingerprints, no trace. And the next person to use that machine, maybe you, maybe your mother, maybe your teenager filling up before school, hands over every single digit needed to drain their checking account completely dry. That is not a hypothetical. That is happening right now at scale across every country in this world. I have spent years studying financial fraud, cybercrime networks, and the engineering behind these theft operations. What I am going to show you today are the exact techniques criminals use to steal from ordinary people who do everything right, and the very specific behaviors that will make you invisible to them. Stay until the end, because the method I reveal last does not require any device, any technology, or any criminal skill at all. It weaponizes your own decency against you. Before we go further, if this channel is new to you, hit subscribe right now and turn on your notifications. Every week I bring you verified, expert-level intelligence on financial fraud, digital security, and the scams that your bank will never warn you about. And drop a comment below telling me what city or country you're watching from. I want to know exactly where my audience is, because these scams do not hit every region the same way, and your location actually matters to what I cover next. Let us talk about the device first, because it is the foundation of the entire modern skimming ecosystem. Criminals have graduated far beyond the bulky external overlays that fraud awareness campaigns warned you about 5 years ago. Those are now considered amateur equipment. The professional criminal operations, the ones connected to organized networks in Eastern Europe, Southeast Asia, and Latin America, have moved to what is called a deep insert shimmer. This is a flexible circuit board, thinner than a credit card, engineered specifically to be inserted entirely inside the mechanical throat of a legitimate ATM or fuel pump card reader. When you grip that card reader and wiggle it, the way every security expert has told you to do, you will feel nothing unusual. Because the shimmer is not on the outside. It is sitting deep inside, perfectly aligned with the internal contacts that read your card. The moment your EMV chip card slides past it, the shimmer intercepts the data handshake happening between your chip and the machine. It cannot clone the chip directly. EMV technology was specifically designed to prevent that. But here is what the security industry does not advertise loudly enough. Your chip card still contains backward-compatible magnetic stripe data embedded in its communication protocol. The shimmer extracts precisely that data. Paired with a microscopic pinhole camera, hidden inside a fake brochure holder bolted to the ATM or embedded inside the lighting panel directly above the keypad, the criminal now has your full card data and your PIN. They take that information, encode it onto a blank white JCOP card, and walk to an ATM 3 blocks away at 2 in the morning. By sunrise, your account is at 0. The nurse from Ohio who stopped for gas after a night shift, well-lit station, major chain, busy intersection, woke up overdrawn by $3,000 from withdrawals made in an entirely different state. Now here is what makes the shimmer so operationally devastating. It works at exactly the machines you have been conditioned to trust. Banks put security cameras on their ATMs. Fuel stations run corporate-mandated inspection protocols. These are not the sketchy machines on dark street corners. These are the machines inside your grocery store, at the airport terminal, at the bank branch you have been using for 15 years. Criminal networks specifically target high-volume, high-trust machines because the data harvest per device is exponentially larger. A shimmer installed on a Friday evening at a busy station can collect card data from hundreds of transactions before a technician even opens the unit for routine maintenance. The defensive protocol is specific. Use tap-to-pay contactless whenever possible, because a shimmer cannot intercept NFC transactions. There's no physical card insertion happening. If you must insert, cover the keypad with your hand when entering your PIN, not as a courtesy, but as a hard security measure against overhead cameras. And enroll in real-time transaction alerts through your banking app. Not daily summaries, real time. The notification on your phone should fire before you even pull your card out of the slot. But physical hardware is only one arm of this industry. The other is psychological, and it is far more efficient per criminal per hour. Consider what happens when you lose your debit card. Panic sets in. Your brain enters tunnel vision. You grab your phone, open your browser, type your bank's name plus customer service number, and dial the first result you see. What you do not know is that criminal organizations are spending thousands of dollars per month buying sponsored advertisements on major search engines, bidding specifically on high-urgency search terms like lost card hotline and freeze account immediately. Their fake phone number appears at the very top of the results page, styled to look identical to an organic search result. You call it a professional, calm, empathetic voice answers. They speak in perfectly scripted bank terminology. They ask for your account number to pull up your file. They ask for your social security number to verify your identity. They ask for your PIN to authenticate the card cancellation protocol. You provide all of it because you are terrified, because they sound completely legitimate, and because they have trained for this call hundreds of times. Armed with your username, your SSN, and your PIN, they log into your real banking portal, lock you out by resetting your credentials, and initiate wire transfers before you have finished the call. A 45-year-old independent contractor lost $12,000 this way. He called the fake number while walking to his car in a parking lot, panicking about his lost wallet. His bank denied his first dispute claim entirely, because the system saw his correct credentials used on a recognized device and classified every transaction as authorized. This is the legal framework that destroys fraud victims. Regulation E, the federal law governing electronic fund transfers, contains a definition of unauthorized transaction that banks exploit aggressively and legally if you handed over your PIN, your OTP code, or your card credentials under any circumstances. Even if you were deceived, even if you were psychologically coerced, even if a sophisticated AI voice bot convinced you it was your bank's legitimate fraud prevention system, the bank will classify that transaction as authorized by you. Their argument is negligence. Their position is that your personal actions compromised the account, and they will issue a denial letter after a grueling appeals process that leaves you emotionally devastated and financially destroyed. The 60-day reporting window under Regulation E means that ghost subscription bleed charges, small, recurring amounts processed by fake shell merchants who purchase stolen card data from dark web databases and charge $3 to $10 per month using legitimate-sounding billing descriptors, can drain hundreds of dollars over years before you notice, and your bank will only refund the last 60 days. Everything before that statutory window is legally gone. The defenses that actually work require systemic habits, not one-time actions. Set calendar alerts to audit your bank statement line by line, not by scrolling through and pattern matching, but actually reading every merchant name, every amount, every date. Enable purchase notifications, so every transaction fires to your phone in real time. Set a daily purchase limit on your debit card through your bank's app. Most institutions allow this now, so that even if your data is fully compromised, the maximum extraction is bounded. Never enter your PIN at any machine where someone is standing close enough to see your keypad. And internalize one absolute rule that the most liked comment on every viral scam video comes back to. Again and again, across hundreds of thousands of upvotes. If you do not recognize the number calling you, do not answer. No legitimate bank, government agency, law enforcement office, or federal court will demand immediate payment over a phone call. The moment someone uses urgency and fear to push you toward a financial action, that is your signal to hang up. Independently look up the real contact number from your physical card or the back of your bank statement and call it fresh. Criminals evolve their engineering. They hire voice actors, build phishing sites with pixel-perfect branding, manufacture hardware that defeats the security checks you were told to perform. The only asymmetric advantage you have is knowledge, knowing what these operations look like before you're standing at the machine, before the phone rings, before the panic sets in. Once you are in the moment, your brain's threat response narrows your cognition exactly the way these operations are designed to exploit. The protection happens now, in calm, in preparation, by building the habits and the reflexes that make you the hardest possible target in your neighborhood, in your city, in your country. Now, I need to ask you directly. Have you or someone you know been hit by any of these methods? Tell me what happened in the comments. Your experience is the most powerful warning I can give to the next person who watches this video. Subscribe, share this with one person who handles their own finances, and I will see you in the next one.